Well, thank you for coming. Chris, if you're not taking my class before, I normally start with a story. Hope it's not too shocking. But anyways, thank you. I just don't recognize your name on the list. Anne Rice passed a couple of days ago, and it reminded me of, well, if you see this shelf right here, every book on that shelf is an Anne Rice book, first edition, signed. I was pretty obsessed with her. When I first moved to Los Angeles in the 80s, I didn't talk to my family much, or at least I didn't talk to a lot of my family much for a couple of reasons. First, there was a thing called long distance where you had to pay a bunch of money to call people on the other side of the country. And I was going through my teen angst thing where I was, showing my family that I didn't need them, that I was an adult. But I did talk to my grandmother all the time. Well, not all the time, but like once a week. And you would, before the current days of the phone, I would call my grandma, collect, and then she would not accept it and then call me back. It was a cheaper way to get long distance. But my grandmother was an avid reader. And when I told her that I was reading these books by this writer named Anne Rice, she went right out and bought Interview with the Vampire, which is one of the best books. The Vampire Lestat is a great book also. And The Body Thief is my third favorite book. And we would read the books together, and we would call each other and talk about the books. And there's a book called The Mummy, and it's this memory that's burned into my head, talking to my grandmother about this scene in The Mummy where someone has relations with this person that was just risen from the dead and still in partial decay. And we were both like, we couldn't believe it. Excuse me. Anyways, my grandmother passed a couple decades ago, if not longer. And my mom, so Anne Rice used to do these book tours, and I would go obviously and get the book signed. And my grandmother also did that, like she did with actually Amelia Earhart, who she also met. And then my mom sent me my grandmother's copy of one of the Anne Rice signed books that she went and had signed in Cleveland. And when Anne was in California, I had mine signed. So I have my grandmother Frances's book, and I have my copy of this same book too signed. And that's it for my tribute to Anne Rice. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. We're going to start in the seated position just with a couple of movements. So as easily as you can, cross the legs. And if you see right here, my feet are just one in front of each other. They're not too crossed. They can come out. I'm going to do something different. It's natural to me. I'm not asking you to do this. Just turn them in a little bit. This, for whatever reason, is natural to me, always has been. So we're going to start with some breathing. People are calling it breath work now. Pranayama. It's always been in yoga for however long yoga's been around. Some people say thousands of years. We can talk about that another day. Hands on the knees for a moment. We're going to breathe in through the nose and then out through the nose. This deliberate breathing, pulling the breath in and pushing the breath out. And we're going to move the hands with that. So breathing in, reaching up, breathing out, hands down. We're going to find a doable rhythm with this breath, and both directions are in and out through the nose. We want to try to keep this breath going, moving, controlling this breath for the next hour of our yoga practice here. So when we're moving, you're breathing like this. When we're staying still, you're breathing like this. It's all in the nose. And prana is the life force. We're just taking the life force in and then pushing it out. Long and deliberate breath. So find your rhythm right here. And we'll do a little bit more of this. All right, let's bring the right hand to the left knee and the left hand just right behind us. We're going to rotate the left shoulder back, and the head's going to gently look back. The twisting is in the torso. We continue that breath even here as we are still. as in staying still, or still continuing the breath. And let's come all the way over to the other side. Sitting up tall and then twisting in the torso, gently looking back. The eyeball should be looking at like the eye line of a wall or whatever's behind you or to the side of you. Because you see my face is not looking all the way back, so I'm not forcing my neck. And we really shouldn't force anything. Good, back to center. We're going to put the right hand out in front. Try to keep the right shoulder down. The left hand's going to grab the fingers and pull back a little bit. And we're going to sit up tall, breathing here. There will be times when you say to yourself, well, Daniel is not continuing his breath. That is true because I am talking. Otherwise, I will do my best, which we all do, and sometimes it falls off and we come back to it. Let's do the other side, left hand pulling back, breathing here. We are going to do the pivot class. In case you were curious, we didn't do the pivot class either time last week. Very nice. Let's stand. Once we stand, we will have the feet about the distance of, say, the hips or the shoulders. And we're going to swing those arms forward, keeping the core engaged, keeping the breathing going. Like you're breathing all the way to the feet and below and all the way back out. And then let's go the opposite direction. Excellent. Across the front, we will switch which hand goes on the top. And hands on the hips, we're going to swing around a little bit in the middle. Doing that breathing. And then let's go the opposite direction, please. Very nice. Back to center. Big toes touching. Ankles a little bit apart. So a little bit apart. Then my ankles are about 2 fingers apart. Just find out where it's comfortable. We want the ankles just a bit apart. You'll notice it more when we do the second half of the sun salutations. Thumbs out is a little bit nicer, but palms in is totally fine. We're going to breathe in, reach up and look up. We're going to breathe out and forward fold, bringing the fingers nice and low. If they're on the ground, great, keep them there. If they're not on the ground, put them on the shins. We're going to look up, pull the shoulder blades together. We're going to forward fold on the out breath. Engage the core. We're coming all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to come down through the heart center, pushing into the earth, circling back up, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out, forward folding, fingers low again. Keep them down, look up, flatten the back. Forward fold on the out breath, all the way back up, reaching out and up. Down through the heart center, push into the earth, circle back up, breath in. Breathing out, forward fold, fingers low. Then look up, lengthen the tail through the eyeballs. Forward fold on the out breath, all the way back up, reaching out and up. Back down through the heart center, push into the earth, circle back up, breathing in. Breathing out, forward folding, again, fingers low. We're going to look up. We're going to forward fold, all the way back up to the ceiling. Down through the heart center, push into the earth, circle back up on the in-breath. Breathing out, forward folding, again, fingers low. We're going to look up, lengthen the tail through the eyeballs. And from here, we're going to step back to the top of a push-up. We're going to hold this first one. Continue the breathing. We're going to tighten the core. We're going to tighten the legs. If you feel like the push-ups are unreasonable, I would agree with you. You're welcome to put the knees down if you like. Otherwise, we hold strong. When you're ready, you can lower down. You can hover 2 inches or hit the ground. Up dog, tight legs, third eye looking. And down dog, tucking the toes. Feet are 2 fists apart. We're going to bend one leg and push the opposite heel towards down, stepping a little bit back and forth in place. And on this first one, let's just walk our way up to the top of the mat. Feet back together, fingers low, legs straight, look up, flatten the back. Forward fold out breath. All the way back up again to the ceiling. Down through the heart center. We're going to push into the earth and circle back up, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out, forward folding, again, fingers low. We look up. We're going to step back, top of push-up. Lower drop, up dog, shoulders away from ears, down dog. Nice. Again, feet 2 fists apart. You could just stay here. If you prefer, up on the toes on the in-breath, down with the heels on the out-breath. We're going to keep breathing, looking at the knees or the navel. You could step or you could jump to the top of the mat. Fingers low, we look up, flatten the back. Forward fold on the out breath. All the way back up again. Down through the heart center. Push into the earth, circle back up on the in breath. Breathing out, forward folding, fingers low. We look up. We step back again, top of push-up. We lower drop. Up dog, roll a little forward, tighten the legs. Down dog, pulling up and back. Very nice. We're going to breathe here. Remembering you're welcome to rest anytime you want. The hands are flat on the mat. The middle finger is straight forward. The hands are the distance of your shoulders. The feet are 2 fists apart. And the head at a minimum is hanging. At a maximum, we are looking at the navel, breathing in the nose. All right, step hop, top of the mat, toes together. We look up, we forward fold. Let's intertwine all of the fingers and turn the palms all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to take the feet apart, feel your thumbs and turn them higher. Push the thumbs up to the ceiling and the pinkies down the back. Pull the core in, keep breathing. Good, we're going to lean over to the right. We're going to lean over to the left. We're going to come back to center. We're going to push everything away. Everything must go. From the hips up, we're going to turn and look to the right. And then we're going to turn and look to the left. And back to center, arms down, and we're going to return the feet together, big toes touching, ankles apart. The knees are going to fall together for chair, Ukatasana, sitting and reaching straight up the back. Good, up, over, forward, folding, again, fingers low. Look up, flatten the back. Stepping again, top of push-up, lower or just drop. Up dog, down dog. Feel where your right hand is for warrior one. We're stepping the right foot up. I'm almost to the wrist. The left foot turns out flat, so I'm outside the center line. I'm coming up with the arms for warrior one, the knees over the ankle. Feel your back foot rooting into the mat, the outside edge of it, and then reach the left arm forward. All right, touch the ceiling again, and hands back down, step back, lower and drop. Up dog, roll it forward. Down dog, pulling up and back. Left side, please. Right foot turns out. Same stuff, back foot, reach the right arm forward. The way you know your knee's over the ankle, that foot disappears, so you just see a little sliver of your longest toe when you look down. Great, touch the ceiling again, and then hands back down, stepping back again, lower drop, up dog, tight legs, and down dog. We're gonna stay here breathing, remembering you can rest anytime you like. All right, step or jump, top of the mat, toes together. We look up, we forward fold, feet and knees together, Ukatasana and Samasthiti, ending how we began. And we go again, let's sit in chair. Good, up over, forward folding, fingers low. We look up, we step again. You could step to the belly if you prefer. If you want the strength, lower down, up dog, down dog. Warrior one again on the right, right foot steps, left foot turns out. Back up, still knee over the ankle, shoulders squaring forward. Bring the hands in prayer above the head. Lengthen up, look up if possible. The lengthening up comes from the core all the way to the middle fingers to the ceiling. Great. Hands back down, step back, lower drop, up dog, and down dog. Left side stepping, right foot turns out. Back up, hands in prayer, above the head, lengthening up, looking up, breathing in the nose. All right, hands down again, step back, lower drop, up dog, and down dog. Let's breathe here. All right, step hop, top of the mat. We look up, forward fold, feet and knees sitting in chair, standing, shoulders back, tight core. We're doing a couple more, then we'll slow it way down. Sit in chair. Good. Up over, forward folding again. Look up, step in again, top of push up, lower drop, up dog, down dog. Warrior one, right foot stepping, left foot turning out, heel to heel line if we can. Hands in prayer, lengthening up, looking up. As you pull that core in, you feel your torso get longer. That's when I would arch back and lift the heart to the ceiling. Great. Hands down again, step back, lower drop, up dog, down dog. Left side, please step in, right foot turns out. Back up, hands in prayer, lengthening up, breathing. As you lengthen up, you're welcome to arch back and lift from the heart area to the ceiling. Excellent. Hands back down, step back, lower drop, up dog, and down dog. Great breathing here. Remembering you're welcome to rest. All right, step hop, top of the mat, toes together. We look up, forward fold, feet and knees sitting in chair, standing, arms down. A tiny bit slower for the last one. We're going to do warrior two. Sit in chair. Good. Up over, forward folding, fingers low. Look up, flatten the back. Step in again, top of push up, lower drop, up dog, down dog. Warrior two, we still step that right foot up, heel to heel align, wrist to wrist over the heels. Knees still over the ankle, dropping the shoulders, tight core, engaged, looking at the right hand, breathing in the nose. Let's turn that right hand so the palm faces the ceiling and the left hand barely touches the back leg. We're going to arch back, keep the knee over the ankle, look along the elbow to the ceiling. All right, hands down again, step back, lower drop, up dog, down dog, left foot stepping, right foot turns out, arms out over the feet again. Hold the core, drop the shoulders, look at the left hand. Turn the left hand so the palm faces up to the ceiling. Arch it back. Keep the knee over the ankle. Barely touching the back leg. Don't put any weight there. Barely, just fingertips. All right, hands down again. Step back, lower down, up dog, and down dog. Excellent. We're going to breathe here for a while. All right, step or jump, top of the mat. We look up, forward fold, feet and knees, sitting in chair. We're going to sit in chair, we're going to stay in chair. Just breathing right here. All right, please stand. We will take the feet apart about the distance of the hips or shoulders. You can grab elbows. Could grab prayer if you prefer, but elbows is nicer, kind of looser in the shoulders. But prayer is totally awesome. Either way, we're going to forward fold. Once you forward fold, really let the head hang. Let the jaw get loose. If you want to bounce, that's okay. If you're going to bounce, push the breath out of your nose every time you drop down. So you have to kind of quicken the breath. Otherwise, just hanging and breathing. You may wish to engage the core. On an in-breath, touch the ceiling all the way up. On an out-breath, all the way back down, we're taking peace fingers under the big toes, thumbs touching on the inside. It's okay if the legs are bent, especially to get the toes, and maybe they have to stay bent. That's fine. See if they'll go straight. Reach the top of the head down. Pull the elbows away from your ears. Keep breathing. Good. Back up. Touch the ceiling again. And back down. Hands under feet from the front. So the toes touch the crease in the wrist. See if the legs will go straight. Mine are not going straight. It's okay. You can pull up on the feet, lengthen the top of the head down. Just keep on breathing. All right, please stand top of the mat, and we're just going to take a moment here, a couple of breaths. And we're going to do a lot of pivoting in this first standing series here, so we'll take our time. We're going to take the left foot, step it back the distance of one of our legs. That back foot is pointed a little bit up, maybe 45, maybe less. Both legs straight, front foot straight forward, arms out. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach out and right hand down, left arm up. Down might mean on the shin, palms facing out in the way. And we're looking to the reaching left hand if possible. If it bothers your neck to look up, you would look down, and you want the nose pointed at the foot. So everything is stacked up small, like we're between the panes of glass. Let's come up. We're going to do the first pivot. We're going to turn the right toes into 45 degrees and the left toes straight out the back of the mat. We're going to reach out over the back foot and then left hand down, right arm up. So it's the same pose on the other side. Let's breathe here. Good, back up. We're pivoting again. Left toes back at 45, right toes straight forward. Let's shorten the stance a couple of inches. Reach the left arm forward and stay here getting that length from the right hip to the left fingers, and let the right arm just kind of hang there for a moment. Good, we're gonna do that twist of triangle, Ukatasana. Left hand down, maybe on the shin, maybe back of the hand outside of the leg. Right arm up, gripping the big toe in the front, lengthening through the spine. If your hand gets on the mat, right next to the foot, inside is, well, not easy, but easier than outside. If the inside is easy, jump to the outside. Couple more breath here. Good, back up. We're going to pivot again. Right toes to 45, left toes out. Reach that right arm all the way out the back. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, right hand down, left arm up. Don't let the left hip jump out. Good. Back up. We pivot again. Left toes to about 45 degrees, right toes straight out. Let's re-lengthen the stance for warrior two, which we did earlier. Arms out over the feet, knee over the ankle. Less is okay. We're going to stay here and breathe. We're going to take the center of the right forearm, put it on the leg near the knee. Left arm up and over, looking along the armpit to the ceiling. You could stay here. You could take this right hand and put it on the ground if you prefer. Let's breathe. Up again, we're going to have to straighten this right leg so that we can pivot. Right toes in, left toes out. We're going to do warrior two again. So we're bending the left leg, arms back out, dropping the shoulders, holding the core. We're going to stay here just a moment. And when you're ready, the left forearm on the leg, right arm up and over. And we're going to stay here, reaching that long side. And if you put the hand down on the other side, do the same here. Good, back up. We're pivoting again. Left toes to 45, right toes out. We're going to bend that right leg. We're going to do our twist. You're welcome to keep the back foot flat or come to the ball of the foot, which is what I'm going to do. Swing that left arm all the way through, bringing the left elbow outside of the right leg, which is made of cement. It doesn't move. Hands in prayer, pull in towards the chest, turn the fingers to the face. We're going to stay here. There are lots of options. Mainly, we're breathing. Back up so we can do the other side. We pivot, right toes 45, left toes out. Warrior two for a moment. Let's do the same with the back foot as we did on the other side. I again will be coming to the ball of the foot. That right arm swings through. Hands in prayer. We stay here. Good. Back to center. We're doing horse. So the heels are about under the elbows. Toes are slightly splayed, opening up to the legs. We're going to hold the ceiling right here. Excellent. Straight the legs, turn the toes to run straight forward. We're going to reach straight up, and then we're going to have the hands come right down underneath the shoulders. They'll go there automatically. Fingertips on the line of the big toes, head down. Then if it's easy for you, see if the palms will come down. Elbows back to the legs. We're going to breathe here. Good. Let's come up. We're going to reach out to the ends of the fingers. And then behind the back, we're going to intertwine those fingers. You can push the palms together. It releases tension in the upper back and it makes the pose seem more difficult, but it's more effective if you want to release the tension in your upper back. Otherwise, palms apart. And of course, we are forward folding. Light toes. You could even lift the toes and put them back down. We're going to breathe here. Good. Back up. This time we touch the ceiling. And then back down. We're going to grab the shins, the ankles, or if you can keep the legs straight, big toes with the peace fingers, elbows pulling out in the way. And you can even, if you're holding the shins or ankles, you can still pull the elbows out in the way. Let the top of your head drop down. Let's stay down low. Both hands are going to grab the right shin. Rotate the left shoulder under and through for a moment. And over, please, to the other side. Right shoulder under and through for a moment. Let's stand. And we're going to shorten the stance to about 3 feet. If you're taller than 5, 7, or 8, you can go longer than 3 feet, but no more than 3.5 feet. We're going to turn the right toes straight forward to the front of the mat. Left toes are again about 45. And bring the arms out. We're doing pyramid. And behind the back, you can grab elbows or reverse prayer. If your upper back's holding a bunch of tension, again, intertwine the fingers with the palms pushing together. Keep the shoulder blades back, even if it seems like it's taking away from your depth. And then we're gonna forward fold, keeping the shoulders back, and look at the foot in the front, right there on the ground. Let's breathe here. You could stay in pyramid. Otherwise, we're going to do warrior 3 by pushing off that back foot and standing only on the front right foot, making the body somewhat parallel to the earth. Ardha Chandrasana, right hand down, left arm up. Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana, we switch the hands, the hip comes down for a moment. And then put that left foot right back where it was. And we're going to pivot like we've been pivoting. Right toes to 45, left toes out, arms out so we can make the chest square to the back of the mat. And then whatever you do with the behind the back with the hands, do the same thing. Shoulder blades together, we look up, and then we're going to fold down again, looking at that foot right in front of us on the mat. And you could stay here if you like, warrior 3, on the left foot only, breathing here. And Ardha Chandrasana, if you like, left hand down, right arm up. And switching the hands, if you like. Wow. All right, let's stand top of the mat or anywhere you're comfortable standing, and let's step the feet out a little bit. Woo! All right, we're doing tree. Tree always seems like a rest to me. I love it. Standing on the left foot, we're going to grab the right ankle. See if you can hold it there the whole time to have prayer, or if it locks, great. Hands to the heart, or all the way up. You can also put the leg out in the front, which I've demoed a bunch of times. We're going to stay right here. Great, let that down, step it out. We're going to stand on the right foot. We're going to lift the left. There we go. And hands to the heart. Or whatever you did on the other side, see if you can like copy it on this side. All right, let that down, step it out. Let's stand on the left foot again, and we're going to lift the right knee up, but the left hand is going to grab the right knee. The right hand can go on the hip. You could stay right here. You could reach that right arm back. You could look back. You could grab the big toe with the peace finger extending the leg. Make sure you stand up tall. Maybe just hold the knee and the hip. We're going to breathe. All right, let that down, step it out a little bit. And let's do the other side, standing on the right. We're going to lift the left. Right hand grabs the knee, other hand on the hip. Again, whatever you did on the other side, we'll try to match it as best as we can. Good, back to center. Let's squat. I like the heels under my hips with the toes slightly splayed. We're gonna come, whoa, cracky ankles. We're coming all the way down. Hands in prayer, push together so that the elbows now are pushing the legs open, and then lengthen up the back. Take a couple of breaths here. If you want to sneak in a headstand or a crow or anything, you can do that. But we're going to do this movement that I've been doing for a while, which is good for the low back and is good alternative for if you've been sitting in a chair too much. All right, bring the hands straight forward towards me. And then we're coming all the way up to the ceiling, lengthen up, look up, maybe arch back, and then back down with the hands straight to me. And then up again, all the way up, lengthening up, maybe arching back, and back down, hands towards me. Just one more. There's number 3, all the way back up. Lengthen, maybe arch back, lifting the heart, back down. And let's put the hands at the top of the mat and step back to the top. Push up, belly and legs tight. We're on our way to pigeon. We lower down, up dog, rolling forward, tight legs, down dog. Let's hold the right foot up for a couple of breaths right here. Breathing. You can open up that hip, pointing the knee to the sky. Keep the armpit on the same side down. Throw that right shin, top of the mat. Scoot the left leg a little further back. Lift your heart for a moment, and then hands down if they're not already. Forearms down. I like to intertwine the fingers. That's where I put my head. You can put your face all the way down on the mat with the arms all the way out if you prefer. And of course, and always, we're going to breathe right here. All right, hands down. We're going to step that right leg back. You can shake it if you like. Top of push-up again. We're going to lower down, drop down. Up dog, shoulders away from ears. Down dog. And left leg is holding up. You can bend that leg if you like, opening up the hip. Keep the armpit on that same side down. Don't let it come up. And throw that shin top of the mat, scoot the right leg back, look up, lift the heart, hands down. And again, we're trying to match what we did on the other side. All right, one more time, hands down. We step that left leg back. Top of push-up again. We're going to lower, drop. Up dog. Down dog. And let's sit down with the legs straight out in front of us. Feet same as if we were standing, big toes close together, ankles apart. We're going to do some dynamic forward folding. We're going to breathe in and reach up. We're going to breathe out and try to touch the toes. Back up, breathing in. Back down again. And over and over. Out breath is the downward fold. It's very controlled. We're not smashing around. We're just coming up nice and easy, coming down, seeing where we get to. Don't worry about it. Great, touch the sky. And we're going to bring the arms all the way down. Let's do our twist right here. We're going to bend the right leg with the right foot flat on the mat. Keep the left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Left arm grabs the right leg, right hand goes 6 inches behind the tail with the finger pointing away. You're going to pull that shoulder back and gently look back again so that it's a torso twist, not a neck twist. So just twisting through the torso. You could also put the elbow outside with a little bit of extra force. And we're going to breathe here. Great. Let's switch it and do the other side. Right leg out. Left foot in there tight. Right arm's going to grab the leg. Left hand behind you. Sit up tall. You can put the elbow outside if you like. But again, we're sitting up tall, twisting in the torso. The head's just going for the ride, looking back as best you can. But we are looking at the wall at the line where the eyes would be. Good. Back to center, both legs bent. We're going to bring the arms underneath those bent legs and roll back onto the tail. You could stay right here, just balancing on the tailbone. If you feel like doing a little more core work, let go, shoulders back, arms parallel to the earth. You could also straighten the legs if you prefer. You could also bring hands to prayer, third eye towards the toes. Keep the shoulders back. It's okay to keep the legs bent. This is 1 of 5. Breathing, staring at the feet. Cross the legs, grab the shins, sit up really tall. And then here we go, number 2, back up. Cross the legs, sit up tall. And number 3, up again. Cross the legs, sit up tall. And number 4. Cross the legs, sit up tall. And last one, back up. Great. Hug the knees in. We're going to lie back. You can pull those shins down and bring the nose up if you like. And then we're going to do bridge. Those of you that want to do Urdhva are welcome to. But for bridge, the feet are about 2 fists apart, as well as the knees. Your longest finger could almost touch the heel, but not quite. You're going to lift the hips. As you lift the hips, tuck one shoulder, then the other. Intertwine the fingers, push the arms down as we push the hips up. And we're going to breathe right here. Good, back down. You can hug the knees into the chest again. And then for those of you that want to, we're gonna go upside down, starting with plow, and then ending with shoulder stand. So it's just a couple. You can also just go to your wall and put your feet up the wall for the duration of this. Otherwise, plow is rolling back onto the shoulders with the legs straight. Hands could be on the back or fingers interlaced with the arms pushing on the earth. We're going to breathe here, a couple of breaths. If your hands are not on the back, put them there now. Fingers pointing toward the spine, thumbs coming around the front. You can scooch the elbows in here easier than other places. And then we're going to lift the feet up with the heavy shoulders, heavy elbows, looking at the feet, trying not to put too much pressure on the head. And we're going to breathe here. All right, bend the legs, bring the knees down towards the ears. And we're going to reach back, grab the feet, and lower ourselves into dead bug. In dead bug, you're just laying on the back, the knees in the armpits. Let the head be just on the ground loose. You're holding the feet so the feet are pointed up to the ceiling. You could stay still or you could rock around if you prefer. Great. Hug the knees into the chest again. This time, imagine you have pencils, one on each knee pointed up to the sky. We're going to keep the knees together and we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling in one direction at first. And then let's go the opposite direction, please. And back to center, arms out like a T. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, let the knees fall to the right. As you look over to the left, you can put the right hand on top of the legs if you like. I'm going to stay here and breathe, just relaxing into this gentle twist. And let's come back up to center and then over to the other side. Left hand can hold the knees down. Right hand reaches out. Then we look to the reaching right hand. Good, back to center. Hug the knees into your chest. Thank yourself for coming out. Tell yourself you did a good job. You can take a traditional laying down. Otherwise, we're going to roll up to a seated position, and I'm going to lead us into a 5-minute silent meditation. I'm going to sit on my rolled up mat, which makes life way easier for long sitting or sitting for long if you're not a dyslexic. So again, you just turn the feet in. Again, I just do my thing here, but it's just for me. I'm going to sit up tall, the shoulders a little bit back, the core a little bit in. We're going to either intertwine the fingers with the thumb touching or one hand on top of the other thumb touching, hands down in the lap. The chin is going to hang barely to the chest, just a tiny bit to the chest. The eyes are gently closed, and we are going to become aware of the body breathing itself. Really trying to experience that and witness that with everything we have, just focusing on the body breathing itself. Now, if the mind is too chattery, I want you to breathe the body like we did in the yoga class and focus on that with everything you've got. And if the mind is too chattery for that, I want you to count those breaths that you are breathing. And when you get to 11, go back to 1, and we will be here about 5 minutes. All right, let's bring the hands to the heart center, rub them together like we're making fire. And we're going to reach the arms all the way up into the sky like a big funnel, receiving all the gifts of the universe. We're going to breathe into the nose as much as we can. We're going to breathe in more through the mouth and more if you can fit it. We're going to hold the breath, tighten the core, tighten the legs, lift the floor, hold all of that, and then let everything go. Ah. You're living your dream, don't miss it. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. These classes are going to run all through the December holiday situation. It's danieloverberger.com. You can find links to my Venmo and PayPal there. I'm going to stop this recording.